Your back's like memory foam.
Dear God.
Get Enlisted. Premieres Friday, January 10th on Fox.
Guys!
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
You ever see something like this?
No, sir. This is gonna happen again.
We got a rabid dog out there, and we gotta put him down. You don't pick your parents, and you don't pick your partner. You wonder if you're a bad man?
World needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
Just what is it you think we found?
Something deep and dark, detectives. Something deep and dark.
Fox tonight. Looking for the perfect holiday gift?
Fake IDs, passports, green cards.
How about an all-new animation domination?
Finally, something that makes me feel special. I mean, except for when I had those cow udders.
Tonight, you'll get 4 amazing shows.
Those are kind of all not very good.
It's the one gift that keeps on giving.
I buried all my whoopee cushions in the backyard.
And giving and giving.
That's not where I buried them.
All new Animation Domination starts tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
With Tim Ryan, Chris Myers, the NFL on Fox here in Baltimore as we begin the second quarter. Flacco has suffered an interception. He threw a touchdown pass, but it was a Baltimore Raven fumble recovery by Matt Elam and set up that score to make it 7-0. Cassel throwing, and what a catch. John Carlson leaping in the air. Good enough for a Viking first down. Minnesota comes in, Tim, in their last 4 for Leslie Frazier. They have a 2-1-1 record. Of course, those back-to-back overtime games, and counting on Cassel to get them another one.
Well, they've ridden the back of Adrian Peterson for sure over the last couple. But you know what? John Carlson has answered the bell as well. That's a good throw from Matt Cassel. And since Carlson's been out there for the injured Kyle Rudolph, it's been good to see him play well.
After a 12-yard gain, Cassel hit as he throws, and it was nearly intercepted as Cassel is knocked down to the snowy turf.
And he looked like he hurt his elbow as he was unloading that football, got blasted from a blitzer. Let's watch his right arm as he unloads it.
Courtney Upshaw was in there.
And a Hedaboo coming off the edge. It looked like his right elbow hit Courtney Upshaw in the helmet right there. Yeah, you could see it. His right elbow right on the helmet.
On 2nd and 10 from the 31 of the Vikings. Oh, hard as Peterson slips away but goes down. The NFL's leading rusher ran into D'Angelo Tyson.
And no footing issues for D'Angelo Tyson as he just flew into the backfield. Tried to put the smash on Adrian Peterson. Boy, Adrian barely got that and was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 11 after a loss of 1.
Come on, first team timeout. A 30-second timeout.
Baltimore Ravens using the timeout and facing a 3rd down and 11. Well, Tim, as a former defensive lineman yourself who played in Chicago, some of the players, you know, they had a chance to get out and have fun in the snow. It was falling a couple hours before kickoff. They seemed to enjoy it. What about the long haul of the game? What effect does it have as these conditions continue to get sloppy?
Well, I think if it gets sloppier, it'll have a bigger effect. If it turns to freezing rain, if the temperature goes up and it stops snowing, and then it starts coming down as rain and freezes when it hits, that will totally change the conditions for the footing on this football field, and it's all about footing. You know that, change of direction.
Well, Adrian Peterson battling a groin injury already, and under normal circumstances, you might say he could take advantage. So far, he only has 16 yards rushing, and here they go with 4 wide receivers and Toby Gerhart on 3rd and 11. Under pressure, Gerhart has it barely and loses it. That is ruled incomplete right away. Where a turnover for the Ravens.
Yeah, he never had possession. Gerhart was trying to corral that football. Screen pass. Really well played by Darryl Smith and some of the other guys defensively for Baltimore. But no doubt Toby Gerhart never had that football.
Interesting that Jacoby Jones is back to receive the punt of Jeff Locke.
Oh, let's not forget, Jacoby can tear it up as a punt returner, as he did in Houston for years.
He's going after it and has it on the run. Jacoby Jones down the sideline. Ran out of bounds by Audie Cole. A return of 21, and no Mike Tomlin in the picture.
Be nice.
I kid, I care. We'll continue.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh, the what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big sales event.
Honestly, I'm a little old-fashioned. I love chalk and erasers, but change is coming. All my students have the brand new Surface. It has the new Windows and comes with Office, has a real keyboard, so they can do real work. They can use Bing Smart Search to find anything in the world, or last night's assignment. And the battery lasts and lasts, so after school they can Skype, play games, and my favorite, do homework. Change is looking pretty good after all.
Do you know where your beer is brewed? With 12 breweries spread all across the United States, your next Budweiser is closer than you think. You might even say we're America's largest local brewer, meaning that Bud in your hand is all but guaranteed to be one of the freshest beers at the bar. Discover everything it takes to make your beer a Budweiser at trackyourbud.com.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Domino's. Oh, yes, we did. By the new Windows. One experience for everything in your life. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Temperature just below 30 degrees. That's not bothering these fans. The wind chill, though, feels more like 25 degrees with snow flurries and wintry mix continuing throughout the day and evening. From the 48-yard line of Minnesota. Flacco. Torrey Smith couldn't get it.
It just looked like inadvertent tangling of the feet as Xavier Rhodes, who will be under a heavy aerial attack today out on the perimeter, got his legs tied up with Torrey Smith. There's the matchup to your right. And see, watch as Rhodes turns his head back to locate the ball. Looked like their feet either got tangled up or Torrey Smith just tripped over a bump of snow.
Rhodes, a guy who had quite a test against Chicago, 16 passes defensed, leads the Vikings team in the starting spot because of Josh Robinson's injury. And it's Jacoby Jones on a run to the right, and he's run out of bounds by Chad Greenway. Greenway, who is coming off a game in which he had 10 tackles and playing with a fractured wrist.
And this is all Chad Greenway staying home. You're going to see him out here on the edge. He's going to peek inside, but he's going to see this action coming around. And he just forces it right back inside to where his help is. Jacoby Jones said there's nothing going in there, so he popped it outside, and Chad Greenway ran him out of bounds. He's playing well this season.
Loss of 5. It's third down now. From the 47 of Baltimore. Flacco, incomplete, way out of bounds, and that'll bring out the punting unit.
Footing definitely an issue. Torrey Smith out there on the edge again as he was trying to break off his route. Looks like he went down again in the snowy conditions.
Sam Cook will have a chance to pin the Vikings deep once again. He's done a terrific job in a field position battle so far.
Yeah, don't underestimate that. In these conditions, how the field position game is going to play a major factor, and these punters will be a big part of it.
Marcus Sherrills, capable of returning big ones. Watches it, and Jarius Wright watches it go by. That'll be a touchback after a 52-yard boot. Adrian Peterson and the Vikings take over at the 20.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? We don't have a reservation.
Right this way.
Welcome.
Welcome. Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
We have 4 hours to find your dad a gift, and he's got to have the best, so we need to stay focused. James, you're my rock. Can you keep it together? Sally, look at me. I need you to step it up, okay? We don't want the petting zoo all over again.
I can't make any promises.
Wow. I never doubted you guys for a second.
AT&T makes you the hero this holiday season with iPhone 5S for $0 down with AT&T Next.
Now get 50% off any Domino's pizza when you order online. 50% off sausage pizzas, specialty pizzas, even barbecue banana pepper pizzas. If you're into that, this week only get 50% off the menu price of 34 million pizza combinations at Domino's.com.
Why do we love football? Thousands of people have shared their stories for a chance to win the trip of a lifetime to Super Bowl 48. NFL Films is proud to present 10 finalists. Now it's up to you to choose the winners. Watch their stories, vote for your favorite, and help make a dream come true. Vote now at TogetherWeMakeFootball.com.
You're in good hands with Almost Human. All new tomorrow on Fox.
American Idol is looking for the next superstar. Join Jennifer Lopez, Keith Urban, and Harry Connick Jr. along with Ryan Seacrest as they search for the best new talent. American Idol's most exciting season begins Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
It's going to be fun watching those judges. J-Lo back, and then Harry Connick Jr.
Harry Connick Jr., a big Saints fan. Vikings trailing 7-0. Cassel's flip is incomplete. Trying to get into Adrian Peterson. 7 carries, 16 yards in the game so far for Peterson. He carried it 35 times for 211 yards last week and joked and said, I was getting stronger when everybody else was getting tired. But of course, in this game, the Vikings want to limit the number of carries.
Well, having said that, and he was awesome last week and pretty darn good the week before that. But Adrian Peterson this year, a lot of 10-yard runs, some 20-yard runs. With his growing, I think it's clear it's not 100%, Chris. A lot of those plays would have been of the 40, 50-yard variety if he was healthy.
From the Viking 20, Cassel in trouble. Gets away. He's got room to run. Sliding at the 25, where it'll bring up 3rd and 5. Darryl Smith, the leading tackler of this Ravens team, ran him down.
It's so hard to change your mindset as a pass rusher when you get to the quarterback. You're going to work 40 times a game to get there. But in these conditions, and you may only get there a couple of times, in these conditions, Chris, you got to break down, you got to slow your feet down and make sure you get the quarterback wrapped up. We've already seen several missed sacks in this game because of the footing.
From the 25 of Minnesota, Peterson loses the ball out of bounds. And he looks like he's in great pain.
He's definitely, the way that he came down after that ball squirted out, it was immediate that there was something wrong.
One of the more conditioned athletes in the NFL, as Arthur Brown was the Ravens defender who went after him after he took in the pass. Adrian Peterson needing to be helped up on the sideline. of course, his amazing comeback from an injury that might have devastated other players, and then to rush for more than 2,000 yards last year and pick up the MVP award.
Something with his feet is they got tangled under Arthur Brown. Like his right ankle got trapped and turned kind of funny as Arthur Brown was coming down on him.
Short of the first down. We'll get a report from the Viking bench here in just a moment, as Jeff Locke comes out to boot it away from the 29-yard line of the Vikings. And Jacoby Jones back at the 30 of the Ravens, where he'll back up inside the 20. Jacoby Jones racing out of bounds near the 28-yard line. A 54-yard punt and an 11-yard return as we continue to monitor the health of Adrian Peterson. And in the NFC,
how about a few of these games today? Seattle, San Francisco, Carolina, the New Orleans Saints. Still a lot to be decided. Seattle wins that game today against San Francisco. No matter what, they'll be division champions, Chris, and at least a number 2 seed, which means a first-round bye.
And the Packers still without Aaron Rodgers. If you didn't appreciate his value to the league and that team before, you do a lot more now. Ray Rice carries. Let's check in with Jen on Adrian Peterson.
Well, Chris, I'm standing here right next to him. Trainers are having him turn and flex that ankle as they try to evaluate it now. They are moving him. Looks like he is headed towards the locker room. He is walking on his own power, but he is being very ginger. Looks like they might be testing him out a little bit more. They seem concerned about how much movement and how much play he has in that ankle, but clearly he is fighting to come back in this game. He does not want this day to be over, Chris.
Flacco throwing for Marlon Brown, and it'll be third down from the Baltimore 27-yard line.
I'll tell you one thing about Baltimore. Even if they're not connecting on those deep throws, Joe Flacco is going to serve notice to every defense every Sunday that he's going to throw it deep 5, 6, 7 times a game.
As they continue to check on Peterson, well, a number of the defenders of the Vikings call Joe Flacco the best deep thrower in the NFL right now. And you wonder how the snow affects that. A heavier ball underneath and incomplete for Jacoby Jones. Xavier Rhodes was covering another little pass defense for him.
I think one thing about Rhodes is he's getting better, no question, as he's gotten more game reps. Hard to get better in practice versus getting real game reps, and he's gotten a lot of them as a rookie, Xavier Rhodes, and it's really money in the bank towards the future for that press corner.
Not a good sign when Peterson needs help in the cart to get off the field, knowing his personality. Cook with 2 returners back, Sherrills and Wright, and neither one will have an opportunity. Adrian Peterson injured. Vikings trailing in Baltimore.
Before they earned enough cash back from Bank of America to help spread some holiday cheer. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time, and 2% back at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Even before they got 3% back on gas with no hoops to jump through. A couple was inspired to use their Bank AmeriCard Cash Rewards credit card to throw the ultimate ugly sweater party of the season. That's the spirit of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh. The what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big sales event.
Be precise. Be powerful. Matt Kenseth and his Citizen Echo Drive, fueled by light, any light, a watch that never needs a battery. Citizen, be unstoppable.
Whoa. Go time.
Today's game is sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more.
Ravens protecting a 7-0 lead from the 34 of the Vikings. First down Minnesota. So Toby Gerhart in with the injured Adrian Peterson. And he breaks a tackle for a first down. Up near midfield is still going into Baltimore territory is Toby Gerhart.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity now with Adrian Peterson in the locker room getting that ankle checked out. Gerhart has rolled this year, 9 yards a carry. This one right up the gut. He's going to break a couple of tackles, gets a nice lead block. Look at Toby Gerhart getting it going. And people forget, this guy was a great running back at Stanford. Outstanding.
21-yard gain. Look at those pictures in the snow. You see a Viking running back. You think of Dave Osborne or Bill Brown, maybe when they played outdoors and met in Bloomington on first down. Cassel's throw is high and incomplete. Trying to get it to Greg Jennings. So the Vikings, other than Gerhart, Matt Asiata is the only other running back, and then of course fullback Jerome Felton active for this game.
Well, Cassel's got to get it heated up because they are clearly, in my opinion, going to have to throw the football more without Adrian Peterson out there. And he just had Greg Jennings wide open in the middle of the field and just launched it over his head.
From the 45-yard line of the Ravens. Second down. Gerhart will lose yards back at midfield. Arthur Jones with the defensive play for that Raven defense, which is one of the better in the league. In fact, giving up only 19 points a game.
And they're great here at home. 12 points a game. They dominate the line of scrimmage in terms of the run. Now, I was talking to Clarence Brooks before the game, the defensive line coach. My old D-line coach in Chicago, he said Arthur Jones is playing great. That was a good example of it right there.
In his fourth season, a fifth-round draft pick from Syracuse. On third down. Cassel's throw on target, short of the first down. Greg Jennings makes the catch. And Cassel pointing to the Viking sideline as if we're going for it on fourth down.
Now this territory here. I mean, it'd be a hard kick for sure. You don't want to punt and put it into the end zone. And they were 3 for 3 on fourth down last week, the Minnesota Vikings, including a huge one, 4th and 11, backed up in their own end, which fueled their victory.
Leslie Frazier's going to want a timeout here on 4th and 2. From the Baltimore 38-yard line, trailing by 7. America's Game of the Week coming up. We showed you the playoff picture of the NFC, and the Seahawks have lost just once this year, facing the 49ers at Candlestick, Giants and Chargers. Rams and Cardinals both still alive, believe it or not, in the NFC wild card picture. That's coming up next. Snow around the league and sleet.
Or snow, you're not stopping Joe. And certainly not on the ground. Flacco 4-13 in this game. He's only thrown for 29 yards. Has the touchdown to Ed Dixon and the interception, but a huge run for Joe Flacco, which set up that first touchdown.
And that's something Matt Cassel may have to do. I've seen in these kinds of games, Tim, where a quarterback, things break down and he goes off skating for big gainers.
Especially, Chris, that's a good point, because Baltimore plays a lot of man coverage, and you got those defenders with their backs turned to the quarterback, running with receivers, opportunities to run for the QB.
Fourth down, he's throwing. Jerome Simpson has a Viking first down. Ladarius Webb was there covering.
Not great awareness by Ladarius Webb. I mean, you got to understand it's 4th and 2. You got to know where the sticks are. Here's the matchup. Basically just gets out-muscled by Jerome Simpson. He just gets to the first down sticks and turns around, and Cassel delivers a nice football.
Down to the 32-yard line of Baltimore.
Down.
Cassel to throw for Simpson on the sideline, not going complete. And Jerome Simpson had to play defense with Jimmy Smith.
And this ball comes out way late. for Jerome Simpson. And Cassel told us they're going to take those chances. I mean, there's man coverage. You know Baltimore's going to load the box, so you get one-on-one isolation routes. Jerome Simpson's got to wait a long time on that ball, and as you said, go up and play some defense so Jimmy Smith doesn't intercept it. That ball's got to come out sooner. I promise you, Matt Cassel knew he was throwing that ball pre-snap before he unloaded it. He's got to be a quicker decision maker and just throw it.
From the 32-yard line of the Ravens, Cassel's throw caught by Jennings right near the first down marker in a pile of snow, and I think he's frustrated because he thought he might have been able to break away for a touchdown. All 3 of Jennings' touchdown passes this year have come from Matt Cassel.
And some zone here now for Matt Cassel. He dissects it, identifies it, and you're right. Greg Jennings was mad. His left foot slipped out from under him right there. I think he thought, like you said, Chris, he was going to turn back to the outside and scamper into the end zone.
Gain of 11. 4 wide receivers come in at the Ravens 21 from Matt Cassel, who's surveying the situation.
He's got a nice little rhythm going right now.
Caught by Gerhart, right, and knocked down right away. Ball's out, incomplete.
Corey Graham was having none of that. I almost think he baited that off coverage, telling Matt Cassel, I'm going to play off. Go ahead, try to throw that quick hitch. He just busted up on it. Put his helmet right through the shoulder pad of Jerry's right.
You would have these big coats keep bumping into each other in this booth. I feel like I'm playing on the defensive line or something with you.
You couldn't hang in there, Chris.
Not in these conditions. I give these guys a lot of credit. 2nd and 10. The pitch to Gerhart. Down maybe back to the 20-yard line where it'll be 3rd and long. Jameel McClain makes the stop. Let's get an update with Jen on Peterson.
Well, Chris, I'm back in the locker room in the tunnel with Adrian Peterson. They just moved him from the Vikings locker room into the X-ray room. Good news is he was walking on his own power. That injured right foot was in a sandal, not in the cleat. I'll let you know as soon as we have some updates and results from those X-rays, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Jen. And see, this is what I mean about the conditions.
Get out of here.
You think we have it easy up in the booth here. We're trying to tough it out, just like the guys and the fans. 3rd and 9, and it's Cordero Patterson going the other way. Can he get a first down? Spinning out of bounds, yes. Tough footing. There's a flag down in the backfield as Patterson picked up the first down. Nice footwork.
Tell you what, when he decided he wasn't going to get to the outside and had to cut it up, his burst was ridiculous.
Personal foul, illegal peel back block, number 61, offense. 15-yard penalty remains, 3rd down.
That's on Joe Berger, who's in for Brandon Fusco, who went out with a knee injury, and that will wipe out what would have been a first down for Leslie Frazier.
And penalties are brutal for all coaches. They can't stand them, but when you get into scoring position, they're really bad. Watch Berger right here at right guard. He gets out there initially, gets the contact. Ooh, that is a tough call. He blocked Daryl Smith and then did disengage, but still had both shoulders in front of Daryl Smith when he chopped him down. That's a bad call.
All the way back to the 35-yard line of Baltimore, and they set up the screen to Cordero Patterson, who is fighting hard. Well short of the first down, but may give them a field goal opportunity.
Chris, it looks like these field conditions have affected everybody on this field except 84, Cordero Patterson. He is electric.
Here comes Blair Walsh to try a field goal. He was out early to try and test the conditions, but the snow has accumulated as Jeff Locke is allowed to clear that. You can't, of course, use a snow plow. This will be 39 yards for one of the league's better kickers. And he quickly booted it through what looks like a blizzard here.
Looks like our TV screens in 1975. Fine-tune that thing a little bit, will you?
Only this is in color, and the color is purple, whether you're rooting for the Vikings or for the Ravens. Baltimore leads at home 7-3.
know this hybrid has a better fuel economy rating than the Prius V.
Really? Oh, great gas mileage and it looks good.
Yeah, it's so much better than choosing good looks or great gas mileage.
It'd be like somebody being large or in charge.
And there are 3 ways to do this. My way, my way, my way. Do I make myself clear?
I like and better.
Yeah.
And is better. The 2014 Fusion Hybrid. Ford gives you hybrid fuel economy and a lot more. Go further.
This holiday, check the hauls and ring in the savings with our Radio Shack Price Match Guarantee. Get great deals on the best brands at Radio Shack.
We make you easy to find. We make matching permissible. We make the most popular mall Santa in Pittsburgh. We make your favorite layer. We make it worth being good for 364 days. We make changing your last name one thing, but your team another. We make thousands of things that are more than just things. NFLshop.com. Get a special discount plus free shipping.
We must find out what became of my son. Your life will be in danger. You owe me the truth. What happened to my child?
I warned you not to tempt fate. All new Sleepy Hollow, tomorrow at 9/8 Central on Fox.
4:28 remaining here. Ravens with a 7-3 advantage, and look, this is Blair Walsh talking to the staff here. They have some volunteers helping to clear the field. The snow is continuing to fall. Boy, he's pretty picky about where he wants to kick this thing off, huh? And in between every break and timeout, they're out there with the snowplow. Again, this is the first official game in the 17 years.
That's crazy.
That the Ravens had actually had snow during the game. They've had flurries. They've had heavy snow before and after. Even had a game, Raven fans remember, against Chicago where they delayed the start. But it was sunny when the game started because they had to clear the snow. So after the 39-yard field goal, Walsh booting it for Jacoby Jones, who's coming out of the end zone and across the 20. Let's check in with Joel Klatt for a game break.
Chris, let's go a few miles away to Washington. Things not looking good for the Redskins. Jamal Charles, a 5-yard TD catch, his second of the day. That made it 24-0 Chiefs. They would add a Dexter McCluster punt return for a touchdown. It's 31-0 Kansas City over Washington. Chris and Tim.
Thanks, Joel. Just 40 miles from here, and things are getting difficult and sloppy in Washington, D.C.
And Kansas City trying to get it figured out. 3 consecutive losses. They've got it right today against the Redskins.
Ray Rice carries from the 26-yard line.
And if Kansas City wins that game, and it looks like they're on their way, and Miami loses, it looks like they're up on Pittsburgh right now 10-7. There it is right there. Kansas City will clinch a playoff spot.
And the Bengals have opened up their lead on the Colts now. From the 26, there comes a flag.
Defense, offside, 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
A couple of NFC playoff teams in the mix, leading their divisions coming into the day, and some snow there in Philadelphia. The Lions shutting out Nick Foles and the Eagles. So now that's 4 penalties on the Vikings in this game, none on the Ravens. From the 31 of Baltimore.
See if Flacco takes a shot here. One-on-one on the outside. Nope.
Ray Rice, maybe a yard or 2.
Have we seen really one open running lane for Ray Rice or Bernard Pierce in this game? I mean, the running backs are getting all the flack, and what happened, and where's the run game? Chris, I've watched enough tape this year with Baltimore offensively. Their offensive line, they have really one physical dominant player up front, and it's Marshall Yanda. That's it.
I remember the great center Matt Burke, who not only played for the Ravens, the Vikings as well, now works with the league. He made a difference on whatever line he played. On third down, Flacco, incomplete. Dennis Pitta could not hold on. Second time he's trying to get the ball to him, and it'll be fourth down for Flacco and the Ravens. So Flacco now 4 out of 14.
Well, the first one, as you said to Pitta, that was a bad throw and got broken up. This one just off the fingertips of Dennis Pitta. He leads him, and Pitta can't hold on.
Sam Cook standing inside the Raven 20. And again, using 2 returners. Jarius Wright. This is Marcus Sherrills, who has an opportunity to return. Gets up across the 30 of Baltimore. Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 Eastern. All the highlights and reaction from Week 14 in the NFL. Plus, who's going to be in the BCS National Title game? Who's on the outside looking in? And the Kobe return for the Lakers. Tonight on Fox Sports 1. If you don't get Fox Sports 1, look for it at foxsports1.com or ask your cable provider for that. Look at our...
See 100 highlights with snow.
Well, it just
on the show tonight.
It makes the scene more fun and less predictable. You saw part of our crew weathering the snow to bring you these pictures. From the 33 of the Vikings. On first down. Matt Cassel floats one, and open is Patterson again, who was the key man on the last drive for the Vikings. There a gain of 19 yards.
Wide open on the crosser. It's all set up from the play action. Watch as Cordero comes down with it. The footing is an issue. I mean, there is no doubt. It's the first time we've seen it really affect him, but as he went down to the ground, his left foot gave out. Really impossible for him to get any yards after the catch.
Down.
Quick pass caught by Jennings, who will take us to the two-minute warning. Looked like Arthur Jones doing a snow angel on the back end of that for the Ravens. 2 minutes before the half here in Baltimore.
Today's game is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Visa, turning football fantasies into reality.
Yeah, nice catch.
That's put a little heat on it.
All right, I'll pull a little something on it.
Want to win your own football fantasy? Just tell us. Then use your Visa card for a chance to win it.
Be precise. Be powerful. Victoria Azarenka and her Citizen Echo Drive. Fueled by light. Any light. A watch that never needs a battery. Citizen. Be unstoppable.
And what would this pretty little girl like for Christmas?
I'm thinking the Ford Fusion.
Oh. The what?
I need a car that's stylish and fashionable, especially in my line of work.
Now, do you have a little lemonade stand?
Guys, I'm in fashion. But I also need amazing tech, too, like Active Park Assist. It practically parks itself.
And what color would you like?
I'll have my assistant send you over some swatches.
Oh.
Get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 Ford Credit Holiday Bonus Cash during the Ford Dream Big Sales event.
One show feels like Idol. Because only Idol makes stars. Yes! Yes! American Idol premieres Wednesday, January 15th on Fox.
Xbox One is changing the game in the living room for NFL fans and now brings you the game-changing play of the week. A touchdown from DeMarco Murray put the Cowboys up by 7 in the fourth quarter last week. But it was an interception by cornerback Brandon Carr, who jumped in front of receiver Jacoby Ford, that sealed the win over the Raiders. Experience the NFL in game-changing new ways with Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL, available now.
Man, you are a devoted fan. When you huddle there on 2nd and 5 from the Baltimore 43. Gerhart carries. Remember, the Vikings, Adrian Peterson went out injured, believed to be a knee, and the Ravens playing without their leading sacker, Elvis Dumervil, inactive today.
Yeah, and they're going to count on Courtney Upshaw and some of the other guys to provide the pressure. They've had opportunities for sacks. They haven't been able to get Matt Cassel down. I'll tell you what, Terrell Suggs, he hadn't had a sack in 4 games. They want to get on this little run here. Let's see if old Suggs right here can get it heated up.
At the 43 of the Ravens. They threaten pressure. It's picked up. Time for Cassel to get rid of it. And knocked away where it'll be 4th down. Darryl Smith making the play.
He has been such a good player this year for the Baltimore Ravens. Chris, Darryl Smith, his whole career in Jacksonville, he was a feature player for Jack Del Rio and the Jaguars. On their defense, significant injury last year. A lot of people thought he was done. He has been a huge addition for this Baltimore defense.
Going back is Ladarius Webb as the punt returner. Jeff Locke trying to pin him deep. Handles the high snap. And into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of other games we should be keeping an eye on. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, it may be snow at the game you're watching, but it's another sunny day here in Los Angeles. And coming up on the Visa halftime, the Colts and Bengals jockey for playoff positioning in the AFC, and the Chiefs go for win number 10. So, guys, you know what? Despite the fact it looks sunny, it's going to struggle to make 60 today.
Ooh. Yeah, it's chilly for you.
Teams are struggling. Like somebody made a snowman during the.
Well, must have been Arthur Jones. He's making snow angels. How about snowmen on the sideline?
It's been a struggle for the offense. The last completion for Flacco was his touchdown. There goes one to Ray Rice. He's got a 1st down.
And that's an area I think they can really exploit. You got Audie Cole out there. He's in his 3rd start at middle linebacker, a prolific receiver out of the backfield, and Ray Rice. They should go back to that numerous times in this football game. That's a huge matchup advantage for Baltimore.
A 12-yard gain. The Ravens have 2 timeouts. So do the Vikings. Just over a minute to go. Flacco on the move. There's a flag down in the offensive backfield as he runs for a 1st down. And remember, it was his 21-yard run.
Penalty, 2nd down.
That set up the touchdown, but this will be negated by a hold. And it'll be the first penalty of this game on the Ravens.
John Harbaugh doesn't like it. I believe it was Michael Orr. We didn't get a number, but I saw Brian Robinson, the defensive end, right away pointing up and gesturing that it was a hold, and I believe he was on Michael Orr that play. Here it is right there. There's Orr out of right tackle. Here's Robinson, spin move inside. He's got him locked up. Yeah, and you see him, he's got a hold of that 9 as he tries to peel out.
Yeah.
It was on Orr for sure.
Orr, the 3rd most penalized player since he's come into the league. So from the 22, they set up the screen to Rice, who's got some room to run. Near the 35. Rice with 17 yards rushing on the ground. The Ravens use a timeout, and through the air, his 2nd catch.
And Ray Rice, I mean, those kind of plays were a staple for Ray Rice. Look at this, run after the catch, dump it off underneath. Joe Flacco loves to run those deep routes, clearing it out, and then there's the check down, the safety valve. And Ray Rice, it's hard to believe. You got Adrian Peterson, number 1 in scrimmage yards over the last 5 or 6 years. Ray Rice right behind him, and you see what he's done through the air as a receiver.
Only 5'8". 3 Pro Bowls he's been to, has a body covered with tattoos, but each one of them, he says, are meaningful. They represent a member of his family. From the 35 on 2nd and 7. 1 timeout remaining. Ravens. Incomplete for Dennis Pitta. That connection is 0 for 3 today, or misconnection. It'll be third down.
Interesting. I mean, Dennis Pitta hurt in training camp, really the first day of pads, a significant hip injury, one that initially they thought, until they got further tests, could be career-threatening. First game back in these conditions, and big challenge.
Dallas Clark is inactive. He had been the backup tight end to Ed Dixon. From the 35 of Baltimore. Underneath the race. That extra lunge may have been good enough to get him the first down. And it is a first down as the Ravens use their last timeout in the half. 7-3 our score. Baltimore trying to get more and trying to stay in the playoff picture. If the season ended today, they would be in as a wild card at 6-6. But I remember John Harbaugh telling us we're still finding our offensive identity. That's weird to say when you win a Super Bowl and you're at this stage in the season, but because that running game has struggled, they've had to rely on the pass so much more.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Harbaugh the other day, and I was trying to get into his head about this offense, and he said we really tried the conventional run game. We tried to do what's worked in the past, and then it wasn't working, and we finally said to ourselves, hey, we got Joe. Let's go. Let's throw it 40 times a game.
Flacco airing it out, sideline, out of bounds. Trying to get it to Marlon Brown.
One thing about John Harbaugh, and if you know his history, I mean, he was a great special teams coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles. 1 year as a secondary coach, came over here as the head coach with great success. His special teams are on point, and his second-year kicker, Justin Tucker, who could play a role here on this drive, has been huge.
Dennis Pitta finally has a catch, and he's knocked out of bounds. Fans want a flag, but there isn't one.
I think you got to give the defenders on the perimeter a bit of a pass today because of the clarity of trying to ID where the sideline is.
And also your footing, if you slide one way and make a move, and Harbaugh doesn't agree. But Pitta made the catch.
He did have a foot out there when.
But it's hard to see now.
It definitely is hard to see.
Third down and 1 at the 47 of Minnesota. Pass complete for the first down to Marlon Brown. And they're going to have to spike it because they're out of timeouts.
Absolutely they are.
And this is too far with just 4 seconds left.
And Minnesota gave them that underneath. They had nobody covering those short underneath routes. They gave it to the Baltimore Ravens and battled the clock.
Well, a season long, as you see the numbers in the career long for Justin Tucker, who has been so valuable to this team. But the ball at the 40 right now, a little bit beyond the 40 of Minnesota. So will you try a Hail Mary in the end zone? It would be a 58-yard field goal on a tough field. So it looks like they're going to skip that and try to get something in the end zone. Flacco is in trouble. That's Gerhart Allen, who's going to get a sack. 7th sack of the season for Gerhart Allen. And that'll bring an end to a defensive first half. The Vikings get the ball in the second half, trailing 7-3. Let's head to the Warren Studios and Kurt Menefee.
Welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. What's your football fantasy?
Warm, cozy, but without TB, as he is weathered in Oklahoma. Weather